Welcome to our next video lesson, which is on multiplying fractions. The first example we're going to do is multiplying a fraction by a fraction. What I'd like you to do right now is press pause on the video, and you should please write down these steps, the 3 steps up here, on your foldable. Inside the fraction times a fraction section, you should choose one side of your foldable to be the steps and the other side to be the example. So pause the video right now and write down the 3 steps. Now that you have the steps written down in your foldable, let's go through an example of how to do it. And to do that, we're just going to follow the steps. Our first step is to multiply the numerators. So let's do that. We're going to multiply the numerators of our fractions. So that's 3 times 1. Our second step is to multiply the denominators. So then we have over 4 times 2. Then we need to actually do the multiplication. 3 times 1 gives me 3, and 4 times 2 is 8. The next step is to simplify. Now there's nothing that I can divide 3 by and 8 by, so I know that it is in its simplest form. So I'm going to circle it because that's my answer. I want to talk about why, if our 2 fractions are being multiplied, are 3/4 and 1/2, why we end up with a smaller fraction, which is 3/8. To do that, I'm going to use this diagram right here. You don't need to write down this example. Well, if I didn't let you know you needed to write this, the example we just did, this one over here, you should have written that down on the other side of your foldable. If you didn't do it, that's okay. Just hit pause on the video and do it right now. Okay, back to my example. We say we have 3/4 times 1/2. In a picture, that would look like 3/4. So here I have 4 boxes. If 3/4 of them were being used, 3 of the 4 would be colored in. So I'm going to color in 1, 2, 3. Then it says to take 1/2 of each of those. I'm going to change my color here. Let's do a black. Take 1/2 of them. So I'm going to divide each box in half and take 1/2 of each box. So there's 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, and 1/2. The boxes colored in by both colors is the answer to our fraction. So let's see how many boxes we have colored in by both black and red. We have this box right here, this little one, that's 1. This box right here, that's 2, and this box right here, that's 3. So we have 3 boxes that are colored in by both. 3 of how many though? 3 of how many little boxes? Let's count again. We have the 3 we've already counted, plus this one, which is 4. Then we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So our answer is 3/8. It's alright if you didn't understand how to do the diagram of it. That's just to show you why, in case you were wondering, 3/8 is smaller than 3/4 times 1/2. Now we're going to move on to multiplying a fraction by a whole number. Multiplying a fraction by a whole number. Right now I'd like you to again take the time to write down these 4 steps. Pause the video now and be sure that you get these steps written down in your foldable underneath the multiplying a fraction by a whole number section. Now that you have your steps written down, let's move on to the example. Again, you should write this example down in your foldable as well. I chose to do mine on different sides of the foldable, but you can choose it to do it however you would like. Okay, let's follow our steps. The first step says to write the whole number as a fraction with a denominator of 1. In our question, 12 is our whole number. So I'm going to put 12, write 12 as a fraction over 1. If you're wondering why we're able to do that, remember that a fraction just means the numerator, it's 12, divided by the denominator. 12 divided by 1 gives 12. So you can write any whole number as a fraction by writing the number over 1. So if it was 13, you just write 13 over 1, or 2, it would be 2 over 1. Now this is a bit of a side. You don't need to worry about writing that down. Let's go back to our question. So we've done the first step, write the whole number as a fraction with a denominator of 1. Let's do step 2. Oh, I need to write the 3/4 again. Let's do step 2. Multiply the numerators. So it will be 12 times 3. And then step 3 is multiply the denominators. I know that 12 times 3 is 36. If you can't do that in your head, don't worry, just do it on the side. 12 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Over 1 times 4, which is 4. So I've done multiplying the numerators and multiplying the denominators. Now I have my last step, which is to simplify. We're going to erase some of this so we have some space. To simplify this, I know that 36 is divisible by 4. So I think to myself, what times 4 gives 36? Try and think about it on your own. I know that 4 times 9 gives 36. So 36 divided by 4 is 9. Give me 9. That's it, we're done. Now you have a choice. If you feel like you get this 100% and you don't need any more examples, what you need to do is practice using it. Stop the video and use your foldable to help you with the homework. If you'd like to see a few more examples, keep watching. I have 2 more examples to come, but you can choose. You can either stop right now, put this here for a stop sign, stop right now if you'd like to, and go do the homework, or continue watching for 2 more examples. I'm going to do another example of multiplying a fraction by a fraction. Here are the same steps written out as on the first page. So we multiply the numerators. Let's do 5 times 3 over 6 times 8. Multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. 5 times 3 equals 15. 6 times 8 is 48. Now I need to do the last step, which is to simplify. To simplify this fraction, I know that both the numerator and the denominator are divisible by 3. So I'm going to divide both by 3. I know that using the divisibility rules. 5 plus 1 gives 6, and I know 6 is divisible by 3. 4 plus 8 gives 12, which I know is divisible by 3 as well. So to get from this step to this one, I'm going to divide by 3. 15 divided by 3 gives 5, and 48 divided by 3 is a little bit harder, so I'm going to do long division over here. Take 48 divided by 3, 3 goes into 4 once, 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract the 2, 4 minus 3 gives 1, I bring down the 8. 6 times 3 gives 18. So I have a remainder of 0, and my answer is 16. Now there's no more divisors that I can think of that are divisible by both 5 and 16, so I know I'm done. I'm going to circle it, and now I'm done. Now I'm going to do another example of multiplying a fraction by a whole number. These are the same steps right here that we had written on the last page, the same steps. So my first step, write the whole number as a fraction with a denominator of 1. That means we need to write 30 over 1 times 2 over 5. And the reason we can write 30 over 1 is because any number written as a fraction over 1 is really just the number itself, because 30 divided by 1 gives 30. So we've done step 1. Then it says multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. So we do 30 times 2 over 1 times 5. 30 times 2 gives me 60, and 1 times 5 gives 1. Now it says simplify. To do that, I know that 60 is divisible by 5 because it ends in a 0. So I'm going to do long division over here. 60 divided by 5. 5 goes into 6 once. 1 times 5 is 5. Subtraction. I get the 1. I bring down the 0. 5 goes into 10 twice. Get 10, and then subtract, and get a 0. So my answer is 12. And that's my final answer, so I'm going to circle it. So I have 12, so 30 times 2 over 5 equals 12. Now that's it for this video. If you still have questions, please feel free to pause or go back and rewind and look at the steps we did, or to ask me. I hope you have a great day.